Hey everybody, Scout Crafter here again. I'm here at the Frank Brush Barn, and you know, we have a tool meet, a monthly tool meet. And sometimes, you know, I guess because once you get a few thousand subscribers, you get to be a little bit, you know, recognizable.
Hey,
and,
Scout Crafter!
How you doing?
You
And
suck!
just like that. Well, anyway, so let's see what we got inside today, and hopefully it'll be a fun show. Now, you know, it was going to be a good night because Charlie the Wonder Dog showed up. So that's always fun. And, you know, I picked up a lot of different tools today. And I was just in the mood. So I'll show you on Monday what I picked up. But, you know, there's always good stuff at this show. It's not junk and, you know, guys that they're just trying to get rid of junk. It's not that way. Usually here it's just great stuff that guys might have multiples of. Or they're just ready to, you know, make some room for new stuff. Couple drills in here, breast drills and braces, and they had a lot of $5 bins and $1 tables, and it was just you can get deals all over the place when you come here. Chris always has some nice collectible tools. A lot of his tools are very rare and hard to find, so it's always a pleasure to look at his table. This is Bruce. Bruce had a really nice shear that he sold, and it was just a beautiful piece. And of course, my mentor Dan, he really knows how to sniff out the good tools. Ready for the next C-clamp challenge. We had a nice turnout even though it rained, so a lot of sellers didn't show. Big Mark made a trip down to see us. It was nice to see him. And here was a hammer that's one of the first nail setting hammers. You see the slot on the top? You would slip the head of the nail down there, and you would just start your nail that way using the side of the hammer. This was a real pretty rare hammer. You don't see these. And of course, this you'll see this on Monday. Okay, we really had a great time at the show. I got to tell you, I spent about an hour and a half talking to Dan in the parking lot just about old tools. He brings in stuff every show for like kind of show and tell, and it's just a great time. I hope if ever you're in the area, you'll stop by and enjoy what we do over there. So next up, I have a tool that's a very rare tool here in the States. I don't know, and I hope some of my friends over in the UK will chime in and tell me if this tool is available over there. But over here, it's a British-made tool, and we never see it. I'm telling you, I've in all my years never saw one, and everybody I know says, you know, they've never seen one either. So, but they're out there, but they're just rare. And I paid a lot of money for this tool. And I'll tell you why. I was looking through my email, and I have my buddy Hester, 781. But Hester writes me an email, and he says, "Hey, John, did you see this cool tool on eBay?" And, you know, I try and stay off eBay, but I went on there, and it was a buy it now. And I know Hester didn't want it, or he would have bought it. But I was like, oh, man, this is a nice tool. I love this thing. I said, I'm going to get it, because I know you guys in the channel would enjoy it. And it was $70. It was for a wrench. That's crazy for me. But I bought it, and let's check it out. Oh, this is something else, isn't it? It's a multi-tool. You know how I like the multi-tools. And you can see here it's a UTILEX, and there's the number, 641535 is the number of the wrench, but it has a different patent number. And it's a multi-tool, and you can see here it has a ruler, you know, and it's in inches. On the other side here, it has a file, and this is the old type file that were kind of stamped down. And you can see the condition is, there was rust on it at one time. And it has a hammer, which we all love. This one here is a little caved, a little mushed. And it has the adjustable wrench. Now the adjustable wrench, as you can see, it doesn't open that wide. You know, maybe, I don't even think that's 3/4 of an inch, but it doesn't open that wide. And it's got this little stair here, this little lip, which I don't know what that's for. And it also has this little gap here. Again, not knowing what it's for. I'm going to have to look up on the patent description. Dan was telling me a lot of times they'll tell you additional information. But it's got some issues, you know. But I bought this because I wanted to clean it up and do a nice job on it. So, and it's got a screwdriver at the end. I forgot to mention. So let's go see and do a little job on this. Take it apart, clean it up, and then we'll try it out. Okay, now after this is just disassembly, you can see we engraved all these lines to make them deeper because we know the belt sander is always going to take a little bit off. And you can see here, you can see there's a bit of, you know, rusting and things like that. That's normal, especially after 60 years or whatever. You can see over here, I had to use some heat to get this pin out because, you know, I don't want to strip it out. My gunsmith screwdriver set. And over here, everything's looking good. Now let's get working on it. Here we are at our post-wire brush evaluation. Everything's coming along nicely. All the rust is removed from, you know, this part. I still got to go in here with the tubular wire brushes. And but one thing I thought was pretty interesting, I wanted to show you, is that the pin, you can see the pin is obviously made from a threaded rod or a screw or something. You see, like I do, you know. And they turned it down, and it's still got some of that telltale threading on there. So that's pretty interesting. I wonder if that's original. Again, nobody I know that has one of these that, you know, has taken it apart or whatever. But okay, let's get finished. Now, this wrench was invented by Bernard Forster in the early 40s. He applied for the patent in 44, received it in 46, and then took another patent in 1950 in the United States. But what's interesting is that on the patent and in his original design, he had a glass cutter that you could see here under figure M. That glass cutter was supposed to be incorporated, but never was. And also that little slot we were talking about, that was a glass breaker. Now you could see the kind of condition the wrench was in and why I went with the restoration. But you know my favorite part, remember what it looked like before we started. And we're calling this project done. You know, I was on the fence of whether or not to do it because it wasn't in bad shape to begin with, but you know, I just love this wrench, the style and the look of it, you know, with that round, and everything was so smooth to begin with, but I just took it to the next step, obviously. You know, now this is the way the wrench, well, maybe not so sharp, but this is the way the wrench came from the factory. It was, the pictures I saw, it was highly polished, and because I, you know, made the lines engraved, you could see they're nice and sharp still. Everything's, but the edges are so smooth, and the filing got all the dirt and grime out of the file. And it's just, and it works like a champ. Now in the back here, I didn't put thread locker like I normally did. I put anti-seize because it's got a lot of threads on there and it's not backing out. So I thought if ever I want to take it out for one reason or another, I put anti-seize in there so it'll come out without any heat or anything, because I don't want to put any heat on this wrench anymore. But you can see it's a very unusual wrench, and just a, you know, something I said, if I was going to make something, this is maybe something I would like to, you know, copy. You know, if you're going to copy it, this is an unusual one, huh? Did the hammerhead, the face is all ready to go, and it's nice. What do you think about it? Do you like these type of multi-tools? Do you think this is this one is a gimmick, or do you think that this one has some use to it? It doesn't open up as wide as the new ones do, but it does have a, you know, a strong mechanical drivetrain to it, so And it has the nail puller with that rocking motion. Remember, that rocking motion is so nice when you're pulling out small nails or tacks. You wouldn't be driving any big nails with this. But pretty interesting wrench. Let me know what you think, especially my friends in the UK, if you've ever seen these before, if they're common over there, because here in the States, nobody's ever seen these, and especially in this kind of shape now. This is like, has to be one of the best ones around. Okay, well, shutting down the shop, just a quick funny story. Well, not so funny to me, but when I finished that wrench and I put the final coat of wax on it, and I was just getting ready to do the final show of the after shot, I was walking, and obviously it slipped out of my hand and went bouncing across the concrete floor and put about 6 dings in it. You know, that always happens just as you finish something, or if you have wet paint and you know, you happen to slip and grab it, and now you got your fingerprints on it. So this happens, and you got to say, oh, so you take it back to the buffer and, you know, the sander, and you have to get out those dings you just put in and just be more careful. Anyway, I hope you have a nice day. Thanks very much for tuning in. Take care. Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.